So, everybody, console application, yes. Check. Call it Lab 16. Check. I already have one called Lab 16, but you won't. Great. Okay, so in the past, let's say I asked you to make a program that was going to store like a report card program or something, and you need to store in every student in this class and their mark and their student number and a bunch of other stuff, okay? You would run into a problem immediately.
Wait, we're going back to
Okay? Shh. Get logged in, boys. Your first problem you would see right away is that if you have, I don't know how many people are in this class, like 25 or something, I'm going to have to make 25 variables, right, just to hold everyone's first name, because I need to keep them and use them for later, and so on and so forth. So this is a very bad idea, right? This is inefficient. The computer is really good at computing stuff, so why don't I let it do its job? Okay? So I don't want to do this. In fact, I need this to be more fluid than this. People may drop the class, people may add into the class later. I can't kind of hard code all of your first names in here, right?
yeah.
Equals Roy, and then I got to go equals so on and so forth, right? All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get rid of this. Still too loud. Still too loud. Okay. I am going to make a variable that holds many, many things. And for now, this one's just going to hold 25. And that's how you do it in C++. You write square brackets, and then you write 25 after it. This is in coding parlances is called an array. It's a variable that holds more than one thing. And to access these arrays, you use something called an index. You use square brackets again. And the first one is got a number 0 after it. Actually, I got to call this first name. I don't need to call it first name 1 anymore. And then if there's a guy in this class called Roy, I could do that. Typically what you would do is use a file to put all these things in, and you would pull the info out of there, but Georgina, and so on and so forth. And it doesn't look like it saves me that much hassle, but it actually does, because let me look at this in the debugger first of all, okay? That's a cool name, Gray. I'm just gonna stop this here, hit run. Let's see what it looks like in the debug. Hopefully I have my watches here. I do. And you can see, let me zoom in on that, that on the debugger, first name is just one thing now, but it's got a plus. And you can see that it's expanded into all this stuff. So
expand it 25 times?
Yep, there's 25, 20, yeah, 24, but 0 is the 25th, yeah. And you can see that it's holding 3 things and the other things are blank. So that's good. Okay, that's good. Okay, John, I'm recording this, so can you just turn on pausing for the 10th time because people can't shut up. So that's good. These actually go really nice, like, okay, these go really well hand in hand with for loops. So if I wanted to send a little message to say, enter in all first names, okay? And let's say I only have 5 of them for now, because I don't want to spend time typing 25 things. Okay, so now I could go like this, first name 0, and then have the person type that one in, and then C in first name 1, and so on and so forth, and dot, dot, dot. But if these numbers are going to count from 0 to 4, then I'll get a for loop to do it, because that's more efficient. So a for loop will start at 0. It will count up to 5, well, up to 4 in this case. And then what I'll do is I'm going to put in this command here, but I'm going to put the letter I in there. Okay? So that's going to allow the person to type in 5 names, and it'll store them all in just this one variable name. So it's getting more efficient as we go. And if I have 500 names or 5,000 names, or if I'm in a schools file and I have 2,000 names and I got to go to 2,000, then I could make that a variable later on if I wanted, and I could, instead of using CIN, I could like pull it from a file. But you can see that it's a lot less work than making however many variables I'm going to need. Let me just run this and see if it'll let me type in. Actually, I'm going to hit the debug, and I'm going to see if it will let me type in those 5, and I'll see if it stores them in there. So I'm going to type A, B, C, D, and E. Okay, there's my 5 names of kids in the class, and you can see they're all stored in this one variable called first name.
What's the shortcut for the debug?
How do you run it? You hit the red play button. If you want to, I think it's F8 to run it. Okay, so that's good. That is, where am I here? Why am I stuck? Okay, so that's good. So let's do an example where we take an array, but it's an integer, and it's going to hold the numbers 1 through 100. So let's call it my list, something like that. Okay, and I'm going to write 100 here. Now I'm going to make a for loop. That goes from 0 to 99, from the first to the last element. Okay. But I'm going to fill it up with, so I'm going to say my list I. So this will go my list. It'll take the first one, the second one, the third one, the fourth one. And if I let it equal I, it should fill it up with the numbers 0 through 99. But I actually want the numbers 1 through 100. So I'm just going to press +1 here. And then I'll hit the debug. Pachoom. So I'll type in my 5 names because it's asking me to do that. And hopefully I can see that it has made a variable called myList, and it's going to contain 100 things. Let's look. Can I move that over a little bit? There we go. Yeah, the first one is 1. Why that's so far away? I'm going to pull that over a bit. Great. The first one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way down to 100. So now I've, oh, look at that.
Wow.
That's weird. What did I do wrong? Stop. I made it go. I didn't make it go all the way to 100. Or I didn't actually make it go to 99. This should be less than 100. So it got filled with junk. Just whatever was in there. But that should right the ship. Okay. A, B, C, D, E. There we go. It does go to 100 now. We are going to learn that arrays they're good for us, right? They'll allow us to keep our code a little tidier because now we don't have to make as many variables if we're going to have a whole list of something. But let's say this is like a game or something, and I have a list of 100 things, and let's say I need to take this one out of there and just delete it from that list. It's not going to let me do that easily using an array. The other thing it won't let me do is add more to it later on. Like as soon as I say here that it's going to hold 100, zoom out, then I am basically, the computer before it even runs, like right when it runs, decides to give it space for 100 integers. And you can't go ahead and start adding to that list later. So that's going to be an issue we'll have to encounter in our next few labs coming up. But for now, it is useful for us. And the other thing we can't do is add stuff, insert stuff in there, or delete stuff out of that array. So those are going to be some limitations for now. But try lab 16. Going to be important for graphics, right? Because we're going to be making projects where we have like lots of circles on the screen or lots of squares on the screen. And if we can, like, let's say I write circle shape here, I could do that. And I could make 100 of them, okay? And then let's say I have to draw all of 100 of them. Well, I don't want to, I could just go window.draw, and then I would go my list, and then I would hit I, and it would draw all 100 for me. So it's going to make our games more efficient to know how to make lists of things, basically. So try lab 16 today.